All right, guys, welcome. Today we're going to learn how to make this MOGRT from scratch. And notice the things that we can change. I'm just going to play it. So there's a line, there's text coming in, left text, right text. Then there's a video placeholder to the left and to the right. So these are the things that we can change here. Colors. All right, so a lighter color for the gradient, a darker color for the gradient. Let me just go ahead and click here and let's go to a green. This is the lighter color, so I'll go to like a lighter green like this. Then a darker color green, something like this. We can also change the text color. I'll make it kind of like orangey like that. All right. So we have right text, left text. Let me go ahead and close the colors. And I'm just going to write here, Iceland is, and on the other line, beautiful. And I'm going to end it with an exclamation mark, like yay. All right, and this is what it looks like. And Iceland is beautiful. And then we have places for 2 video placeholders. And by the way, for the text, we can change the font. We can change the X position on both of the lines. Like, for example, beautiful, if I want to move it to the right a little bit more, I can absolutely do that, like yay. And by the way, I'm not too enamored of that orange. So let's go ahead and change the orange to an off-white. Yeah, that's much better. Alrighty, I'm going to close this, close colors, and I'm going to expand this for videos. And there's a top left video placeholder. I can put this video in there. There you go. And a bottom right video placeholder. I'm going to put this guy in there. And this is what the finished MOGRT looks like. And we are going to learn how to do this right now. All right, so for this, we're using the same project that we were using for my previous tutorial, which was Kinetic MOGRT 1. So here we go. Let's just go ahead and create a new composition. So just click here. I'm going to name it Kinetic MOGRT 2. All right, so Ultra HD is good. All of this is good. Click OK. And now what we're going to do is, I'm just going to do it in order, but in reality, you can do it in any order that you want and then just arrange the layers however you want. I'm going to have a line just coming down in the middle of the composition. To make sure that I am indeed in the middle of the composition, I'm going to turn the grid and guide options on, and I'm going to show the title and action save areas. All right. A line is all I want. I want it to be a gradient. So I'm going to grab the pen tool and I'm just going to click from here to here, right? And I'm pressing shift as I do that. And yes, I want this line to be a gradient. But I also want for the users of this MOGRT to be able to change the colors of the gradient. So I'm going to leave it solid here. And in fact, I'm going to click on fill here. I'm going to say, yeah, no fill. Not that it matters, but there you have it. And it's pretty much in the middle, although, you know what? I'm going to select this layer, press P for position, and I'm going to separate the dimensions. I think I'm going to move the X a little bit more to the middle, just a tad. And now I'm going to animate this line so that it comes from the top to the middle of the screen. And I want a little bit of bounce to it because after all, this is kinetic. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go to my Y position and in fact, I'm going to keyframe the second keyframe here. And now I'm just going to go up like that. I'll select both of these keyframes, right? Press F9 and now I'm going to go to the graph editor. And here we go. I'm just going to change, well, I'm going to change tools first, right? Selection tool. And now I'm going to modify this handle here so that it just gives me a little bouncy thing, right? So, oh yeah, I'm digging that. All right. So now let's add the gradient to this. So here we go. I'm going to go to effects and presets. And here I'm just going to type gradient. And I'm going to give it the effect of a gradient ramp, right? So I'm just going to click, drag it here. And here are my two colors. I'm going to have the first color. And remember, people will be able to edit these colors. So by default, I'm just going to give it like a blue. And then a darker blue. I don't like that. I like that. All right. And now let's see. Linear ramp is good. Let me change actually the width of this gradient so I can really see this. The colors are too similar. I think I want to make the bottom a little bit darker. Right. And yeah, end of the color ramp. Maybe I'll end it here. And I'll begin it like here. So it's a little bit more like gradient T. And you know what? I'm digging that. Of course, it's too wide. So I'm going to change this to a more, easy color, All right. So this is good. I'm going to rename the layer a line. That way there'll be no confusion. Because the line is the line. All right, so here we go. Now I'm going to have the masks, right? So I'm just going to have a solid. So Control or Command Y. The color does not matter. I'm going to call this left mask. All right. And the left mask is going to be exactly that. It's going to be the left mask. So I'm just going to also separate those dimensions. And I'm going to move the X to about yay. All right. I'm going to duplicate that layer. I'm going to name this one the right mask. And I'll press P for position. And I'll change the X to about yay. All right. And these two are going to be under the line. And don't worry about the color. These will be masks and only masks. All right. So now I'm going to have the solids that are going to come down. So I'm just going to go ahead and the color doesn't matter because I want for the solids to be gradients as well. And I want for those gradients to be editable. So I'm going to also add the gradient ramp effect to those solids. So here we go. I'm just going to go Control Command Y and I'm going to name this solid 1. And I'm going to add the gradient ramp to the solid 1 layer. And again, I'm just going to have this be, I don't like that hue. I'll have it be darker there. And then I'll have it come to a little bit brighter, like yay. Yeah, I'm liking that. All right. So I have a right mask, a left mask, and I'm going to have 2 solids. All right. So I'm just going to duplicate that so that I have solid 1 and then, of course, solid 2. And in fact, I should just call one left and one right. So let me go ahead and do that. So left solid. And I'm going to call this other one right solid. All right, so the right solid is going to get the right mask and the left solid is going to get the left mask. And to do that, basically click on this button that says toggle switches and modes. If you don't see the button, don't worry about it. Right click here on the track header and go to columns and you want to see the modes is what you want to see. All right, so we want to see the modes and these are the modes. Let's go to where it says track matte, click there. And then the mask for the left solid is going to be the left mask. And the mask for the right solid is going to be the right mask. All right. And all we need to do now is invert those gradients. And, we don't really have to do it that way. But you know what? I'm just going to copy that number. And again, it doesn't have to be precise because who cares? I'll paste it here and then I'll just make this darker like yay. Only, maybe a little bit darker. I'm thinking. Oh, I'm digging that. All right. So here we go. And in fact, now after the line animates, right? So press the letter U so you can see those keyframes. Then I'm going to animate the left and the right solids so that they just come in bouncing. One is going to come from the bottom, the other one is going to come from the top. And in fact, we don't even need to see these masks. So we could make him shy. But in fact, I'm just going to, because we only have 4 or 5 layers, so I'm just going to leave it on. And I'm just going to animate the right solid. I'm going to start with the right. It's going to come from the bottom. So P for position, I'm going to separate the dimensions. And I'm going to animate the Y position. So this is where I want it to end. So I'm just going to keyframe it here. And we can change the timing of these later on. And I want to start animating, say, here. And I'm just going to go ahead and do yay. I'll select both those keyframes. Remember, we do that by clicking on the word position, or in this case, Y position. Then press F9. And now let's go to the graph editor. And let's give this a little bouncy with this handle. I'm just going to lower it like yay. Yeah, I think that's going to work. And there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Love it. After the right solid comes in, then the left solid is going to come in. So I'm going to animate it. Here we go. And same thing, P for position, right click the word position, separate dimensions, and I want it to end here. All right, so I'm going to move my playhead and I'm going to keyframe the Y position. I'm going to move my playhead and put it on top of the second keyframe of the right solid so that as one animation ends, the other one begins, right? And now this one is going to come from the top. Select both keyframes, press F9, go to the graph editor, and now dun, 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 it should have a little bouncy thingy happening. So line, there you go, and there you go, right? If this is too slow, and it kind of is for me, you know, it's a little too slow. You are showing all of the keyframes. Select them all. Press and hold Alt, which is Option on the Mac. And now go like yay. Make them a little bit faster. And now let's see. Line, left, right. I think I'm digging that a lot better. All right. So now we have our background. Let's have, well, not complete, right? But it's okay. Let's go in order and let's bring in the text. So I'm going to have the text be above. So in the layer stacking order, I'm going to have the text be above line. I'm just going to grab my type tool and I'm going to type from here, say text 1. And you know what? I'm going to duplicate it. This will be text 2. You can name him, you know, left text and right text. In fact, I'm going to lower this a little bit, like yay. And I think that's cool. Yeah, that's good. And I'm just going to animate their position. So I'm going to select both of these and I'm going to press P for position. So notice that the right one comes from the bottom, right? So I want for that text, this text to also come in from the bottom. So I'm going to keyframe it here. In fact, you know what? I'm going to separate the dimensions as well. And I'm going to keyframe the Y here. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do yay. All right. Same thing that I've been doing with all the layers. You know, select both of the keyframes, press F9, go to the graph editor, and let's just give it a little bounce. You know, I just want to give it a tiny little like bouncy thingy here. Can be more. Come on. Don't you be snapping. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And now this one, right? I'm going to exit the graph editor. And I want for that text to end kind of like here in time. And I want the animation to start a little bit before the one ends for text, the text on the right. And here we go. Now this one is going to come from the top. Oh, so I should separate the dimensions. Oh yeah. Let me get rid of that X keyframe, and there you go. Only the Y. I'm going to scrub the numbers so that it goes up. Oh, that is the line. The line is coming with. I don't want that. I just want for the text. So here we go. Select both keyframes, F9, go to the graph editor, and let's give it the bouncy bounce. Bouncy bounce. Maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna move the playhead so that this bouncy can happen without anything snapping. That's what I'm talking about. All right. And in fact, you know what? I think I'm going to call this text left text, and I'm going to call the other text right text. All right. And this is part of why I like separating the dimensions. I mean, look at the left text. It's like, come on, you can go more left. And look at the right text. It also can go more left, you know? But come on now. So I think I'm digging that. Maybe a little bit more left here. Yeah. Let's see what we have so far. Line, background, then text. I think there's a little bit too much time before the text comes. So I'm just going to do this, move it like yay. This one can be a little bit faster. So I'm just going to move it like yay. And let's see where that goes. Oh, yeah. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now I'm going to animate the masks. All right, so I'm going to collapse these guys. All right, so I'm going to start with the right mask, and I'm just going to move it up. All right, so here we go. P for position. The dimensions are already separate. So here we go. I'm just going to move it up. So Y position, and I'm going to bring it to the middle of the screen to about yay. All right. And now I'm going to select both keyframes, press F9, go to the graph editor, and let's give it a bouncy bounce. Bouncy bounce. No, you can bounce more. You know you can. Come on now. Boom, boom. Ah, I'm loving it. That's really good. If you want the bounce to last longer, then, you know, move it a little bit more left, because that curve is what signifies the actual bounce, right? So I'm going to exit the graph editor. Let's go back, line, background, background, text, text, and there you go. All right. So that right mask went up. I'm going to have the left mask come down. So here it is, P for position. The dimensions were already changed. I wanted to start here a little bit before the other animation ends. And I'm just going to eyeball this, but about the same amount of time. And it's going to end, not the X, the Y, so my other X. And it's going to end there in the middle of the screen. And, you know, you can eyeball it. You can also type in the numbers, but eyeballing it is going to work. Click the word X, Y position, select both keyframes, F9, and let's give it the bouncy bounce. So I'm just going to move the playhead so it doesn't snap to it. And bouncy bounce, maybe a little bit more. Come on, more, not less. Yeah, you know what? I'm releasing it too soon and it's snapping back. It's snapping. That's perfect. And now let's see what we have. There you go. Line, background, background, text comes in, back there. That's what I'm talking about. With a nice bounce, nice kinetics. Now we're going to animate the text. All right, let's animate the text. All right, so we're going to start with the right text first, and it's still going to be position. So P for position. I'm just going to keyframe it there, and I'm just going to bring it up to about yay. All right, just that. And of course, I'm going to give it the bounce. So here we go. Let's give it the bouncy bounce. I'm digging the bouncy bounces. You know what I'm saying? There you go. And this is what we have. You know what? I'm just going to preview it from here. There you go. You know what I also want to do? I want to go to the layer styles, and I want to add a little drop shadow to that. I want to add it to the other one. In fact, let me go and add it to the line as well. So layer. Oh, layer styles and drop shadow. I just think it's like a little bit more like umphy, you know? It kind of like separates it more from the background. Alrighty, so we animated the right text. Now we're going to animate the left text. And same thing, I'm going to start it pretty much around here. Oops. I also have the line selected again. I have to do something about selecting the lines, right? And now this is just going to go down to about yay. And again, I'm eyeballing it. It's all good. Select all those keyframes and go to the graph editor and let's give it the bouncy bounce. Come on. Stop snapping. There you go. And this is what we have now. Fabulous. Oh, this bouncy bounce is still, see how it's like, I'm going to change this keyframe to a hold keyframe so that it actually stays before it starts the other bouncing. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. This started, I can move these guys because the timing has got to work. There you go. There you go. So also the right text is actually taking too long. And I'm going to just move it like yay. That bouncy bounce may be a little too much, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, you're bouncing too much. I know. I'm the one who told you bounce away, bounce away. But now it's too much. I changed my mind. I reserve the right to change my mind. Yeah, even that. It's because the timing. See this keyframe? Yeah, that's not working out. Let's just go here again. Yeah, I think I'm digging that a lot more. All right. So what I want to have is now video placeholders on the top left and the bottom right. So let's go ahead and create some compositions. So I'm just going to select all these guys, right? And now I'm going to go back to the project here. And I'm going to do a new composition. And I'm just going to name this bottom left. And I'm going to create a new composition. And I'm going to name it top right. All right. And the bottom left is just going, I'm just going to put text in there. I'm going to call it bottom left video placeholder, whatever, right? I'm just going to copy that so I don't have to type it again. And on the top right, I'm going to do the same thing. Top right, top right, top Roth, I guess, right, video placeholder. All right, so I have the bottom left, I have the top right. I'm just going to close them here because, I don't care. I'm going to put them here at the bottom, top right and bottom left. And I'll select both of these guys. Press S for scale, and 50% it is. And again, I can just type the numbers, but I think I'm going to, instead, I'm just going to eyeball them. So P for position, I could separate the dimensions, but I'm not going to. So here's the top right. And there you go. Just going to put it here. And, I think I'm going to make them a little bit larger. Neither here nor there. Oh, you know what? I named them. It is top left. Top left. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's top left and bottom right. Huh. So top left. So top left and bottom right. Okay. So top This is bottom right. Bottom right, and I'm going to rename it bottom right, and this is top left, and this is top left. All right, I think now I got my right and my left and my up and down straightened out. Oh my goodness. There you go. So they're actually going to start here. All right, so it's just going to be alpha or transparency, right? There you go. Blah, blah, blah. And then you see them, and that's it. We're almost ready to create the MOGRT. I'm happy with the timing. I'm happy with all of these things. About the only thing that I need to do now is I need to create a null object that I'm going to use to be the placeholder for the colors of these gradients. All right, so here we go. And I want for the colors to be related, just so that you know. So I'm going to just create two colors that people will be able to choose: the light color of the gradient and the dark color of the gradient. For that, I need a null object, so a new layer, new null object, and I'm just going to call it control layer. And to that control layer, I'm going to add an effect. So I'm going to go to Effect, Expression Controls, Color Control. All right, and I'm going to have two colors. I'm going to have the color for the lighter color of the gradient, so I'm just going to call it lighter color, and the other one I'm going to call it darker color. So I'm just going to duplicate that, and I'm going to rename this lighter color, and this one is going to be darker color. All right, so let's see the colors that we actually chose for these guys. So if I select this layer, the darker color is this guy. So that's the number. I'm just going to copy it because why not, right? So darker color, paste it here. And now I'm going to go back to the lighter color, copy that. And I'm going to go back to the control layer, and here's the lighter color. And now I have the colors of my gradients. And in fact, I'm going to have the color for the text in here as well. So I'm actually going to duplicate this once more, and I'm just going to call this text color. All right, and I want for the text to be a little bit off-white. So this is just EA, and there you go. It's a little bit off-white, you know, and that's going to be the text color. So now we need to have a couple of expressions in here. So we don't care about the colors of the masks, but we care about the left solid and the right solid. So I'm going to select the left solid and just press UU. And now I'm going to have an expression for the start color and one for the end color. I'm going to do the same with the right solid. So just select it and press the letters UU twice, right? So UU. And now an expression for the start color and the end color. And to add the expression, and I know I didn't say it before, but it's press and hold Alt, which is Option on the Mac. And now click on the stopwatch and then do it again. And there you have it. Let's do it for the line as well. So UU. And here we go, start and end. And we might as well do it for the text. So select both text layers. And now you can go into the text panel. So it's part of the properties panel here. And see where it says add animator right here. Just click there and add an animator for fill color, RGB, and then add an expression. So press and hold Alt and click on the stopwatch for the fill color and then for the other fill color as well. All right. So, and I know there's still all of these things are showing and we're running out of real estate, but that's okay. Make this a little bit bigger, make sure that the control layer is selected, and let's start with the text only because it's first and then we can collapse it. Look at this. I can just go to this pick whip for the expression and go to the text color, and the expression gets written for me. And there you go, you know? So the refresh is disabled, and there you go. Now I have white text. I'm going to collapse these two. I'm going to go to the start color. This one is the lighter color, and I'm just going to point here. And this will point to the darker color. The same with this. This is the lighter color. This is the darker color, right? And now I can collapse those. And you can clearly see that the expression just gets written so easily. So this one goes to the darker. This one goes to the lighter. And now, there you go. We have everything the way that we needed to have it before we create the MOGRT. So let's go ahead and save the project. And now let's open the Essential Graphics panel. And we're going to select the Kinetic MOGRT that we need, which is this composition. So Kinetic MOGRT 2. All right. All right, and let's name this Kinetic MOGRT 2. All right, so here we go. Oh, Kinetic MOGRT S. Yeah, no, 2. All right, so before continuing, I just want to say this. I want for this to animate exactly this way. You know, this is good. This is everything. I like it. I like it. I like it. Boom, boom, boom. And then I want it to stay there for a little bit. And then I want it to animate out. So we're going to create a protected area. But I want to do the animate out the easiest way that I can possibly do it. So here we go. I'm going to select all these guys. And I'm going to pre-compose. So layer, pre-compose. And I'm going to name this Kinetic MOGRT 2. Pre-comp. There you go. So I'm going to first have the protected area. So boom, 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 boom. This. To here is protected. So N to end the work area. Right click and now create protected region from work area. And now I want to last until about here. Right? Just a little bit. And here we go. Split the layer. So select the layer and now go edit, split layer, select the upper half and now go layer, time reverse layer. All right. So obviously we want to make this shorter. And we want to make the latter half longer. And let's see where the animation starts again. So right there. We are going to trim the layer until about yay. And the one layer is going to follow the other one right away. And we're going to create a second protected area. So B to begin the work area. And then N to end it. Right click the work area bar. Create protected region, make the work area as large as what you want to export. Right click the work area again, and now trim comp to work area. And this is what we have. We don't have a MOGRT yet, right? Stays in there for a little bit, and then there you go. I think that the protected area can end here. Right? And I think this can be shorter. Right? So I can do yay. Yeah, I'm digging that. And then I can make the whole MOGRT shorter. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trim the comp to the work area. And now I'm going to save it. But this is working exactly how I want to work it. This is the timing that I don't want to change once I'm using the MOGRT. And I want it, this I can stretch to whatever, right? And then the animation starts again, and then it disappears, right? Completely the reverse of how it started. All right, so I'm ready to rock. So all I need to do now is double click one of these so that it opens on its own. And now I'm going to click on Solo Supported Properties. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a group and I'm going to call it Colors. Right? And here we go. The lighter color is going to be part of that. Come on. I don't know why it's not going. Do it. Oh, it's because I need to grab the word color. Oh my goodness, pay no attention to me. And then the text color. And now I'm going to put them in here, and in here, and in here. Yeah, I think I'm going to have this be capital. So colors, done. Okay. The next thing that I have to have is source text, right? So source, right text, source left text, right? So source left text, and I'm gonna add another group, and I'm just gonna call it text. And I'm going to grab these two and put them inside of that group. All right, so let's make this capital. And now I'm going to click on Edit Properties. I want to enable custom font selection and size adjustment for both of these. All right, so that's cool. And, you know, I'm thinking that maybe, yeah, no, maybe not. I was going to say, maybe I want to put position in here, but no, I think I want to leave it as it is. You know, maybe the X position. Yeah, but if I put the X, I need to put the Y as well. So no, I'm not going to do that. Let's just leave it like that, and let's see how it works. I'm not going to put anything for the line because that's being taken care by the colors. And now the right mask, the left mask, I don't need to do any of that. I just, or the solid, I just need to go to the bottom right, and I'm just gonna call it bottom right video placeholder. And then the top left video placeholder. All right. I think this is good. We can set the thumbnail. It's already done. You know, we can just click here. It doesn't really matter. We can actually even click here, and then we can set that poster time there. Let me just do it again. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to do it here. Set poster time. And now I'm just going to create a new group, actually, and I'm going to call it videos. And I'm just going to put this in there, and I'm going to put that in there, and that way I can collapse it. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think that's it. So let me save this, and let's save this MOGRT. Okay, now I am in Premiere Pro, and I created a project, and I created a sequence. Now I'm going to import that MOGRT. And by the way, I also have 2 video clips that we're going to use for those video placeholders. All right, so I'm going to browse, and here it is. And I'm just going to drag it to the timeline, and there it is. So I play it. That's exactly it, right? So now I'm going to select it and edit. Let me start with the colors. I'm going to start with a green, I'm thinking, right? So the lighter color is going to be a light green, something like this. The darker color is going to be a darker green, so something like yay. And I actually like the white text, but just so that you see that it's working, I'm going to change it to, I don't know, a darker yellow, whatever, right? Some like yay. All right? Oh, too dark. It's like, nope. Okay, that's a little bit better. Not my favorite, but a little bit better. All right, so I'm gonna collapse colors. Let's go to this, and I'm just gonna write Iceland is Oh, wonderful! Exclamation mark, right? So Iceland is wonderful. And we can change the font, we can change the size, all of that. I'm thinking I want to change also that X value for position so I can move it side to side. I'm thinking. All right. So let's go to the videos and top left video placeholder. I'm just going to put this guy. Boom. Wunderbar. Okay. Then the next one, bottom right. And I'm going to put this guy. All right. So now I'm just going to play the MOGRT. This is good. Iceland is wonderful. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you know what? This is too big. See how big that is? That's this video. I think I want to mask this. Not only that, but you see that black there? That's alpha. So I want to fix that. I want to fix this. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go back into After Effects. And here it is. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mask these guys. So the top left and the bottom right video placeholders, I'm just going to mask it. So let me go to the top left and I'm just going to select it. And there you go. Well, actually, I'm going to deselect it and now I'm just going to draw a mask like yeah. I don't want to go past on the right, but I think I want to go lower like that in case there's an alpha. I can actually take care of it. And so this is the shape layer and this is the top left. I'm going to just call this top left mask. All right. And now you see where it says here in the top left layer, if you go to the right, we're still on the track mat. So toggle switches and modes, we're still in the modes. Yeah. Top left mask will be the mask for that layer. Now I need a bottom right. So I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to select the top left mask, duplicate it, put it above. It doesn't have to be above, but I'm going to put it above. And now I'm just going to select it and move it. No, top left. You know what? Let me just lock everything, everybody. Lock it. Except for the top left mask too. Right? So the top left, you know what? I'm just going to show it so that I can clearly see it. And I want it to go up like yay. All right. Now, there you go. Where it says Nomad is locked. I have to unlock it. I'm going to go to the top left mask 2. And this should give me that it won't overlap. The videos won't overlap. And they're still big enough because I changed the scale to 70%. They'll be big enough to fill the entire thing. Okay. So now I'm going to collapse that and I want to be able to change the position of the text. In other words, the X position. So the text is showing here in the MOGRT. So this is good. And I'm just going to click, well, I'm going to unlock it. And now I'm going to click on the X position for the right text. And I'm going to put it right here. So right text position. There you go. And now the left text X position. So the X, the side to side. All right. I don't even need to rename it. This is pretty good. I'm going to save the project. Yeah. And now I'm going to export the MOGRT. So let's click here. And I'm going to leave everything the same way I had it before. The only keyword is going to be Luisa. Right? I'll click OK. It's going to say, oh, the file already exists. Do you want to replace it? And the answer is, yeah, I want to replace it. Click OK. There you have it. It's doing its thing. It's exporting. It's taking a little bit because it's got to render a couple of things. And now let's go into Premiere Pro and select the MOGRT. Go back to Browse, right? We're going to drag this on top of the existing one as we press and hold the Alt or Option key, right? So it's going to replace it. There you go. And there you go. Green. Everything is good. Everything is wonderful. Boom. Okay, so this one is good. This one is not. I'm still seeing a little bit of alpha here. See it? Right there. So let's fix that. Let me go back to After Effects. we're gonna go to the bottom right layer. We're just gonna move it up, right? Oops, not the bottom right mask. This guy. That's what I'm talking about. This guy. You know what? I think I'm gonna make this taller like that. So I'm not really don't want to move it to the right. I do want to move it to up, right? So save, export. I'm gonna leave everything the same way it is, and I'm just gonna put my name as a keyword and click OK. File exists, so it's warning me, and now it's doing its thing. Now back to browse. Oh, this is still red. I hate when that happens. That's because I left it. So this is top left. Let me rename it. Bottom right mask. Save, export. The only keyword is Luisa. Click OK. Yeah. And we're going to go back into Premiere. And now we're going to replace this with this. So this is selected. Click on it. Press and hold Alt and then drag this one on top of it. It replaces it. And there you have it. Okay, so this is not the mask's problem. See it? See how it's still there? This is the video size problem. So a couple of things. Let me go back into After Effects. And when we go to the bottom right, there it is. I'm just going to increase the scale. That's the mask. I don't need that. S for scale is 70%. I'm just going to make it bigger. Don't forget, we do have a mask here. I'm going to save it, export. The only keyword I'm going to use is Luisa. Click OK. It warns me. Yes, I want to replace it. And now it'll be done in no time. Just so that you know, these are things that we do all the time. We go back and forth, because sometimes we forget. Sometimes we don't know if certain things are going to go a certain way. So we just go back and forth while this document is still open before we actually export, quote unquote, for good. All right, so let me go back into Premiere. Oops, not Lumetri Color. Browse. This is selected. Press and hold Alt. There you go. Done. We are good to go. So the line comes. The solids come. The text, Iceland is wonderful. Moves up, moves down. And now, boom, boom, boom. You know, about the only thing that I don't like, and you saw it here, right? It starts here and then it's like, oh, you know, it pans and blah, blah, blah. That's because, listen, when I was shooting this, that was not the shot that I wanted. So let's go ahead and edit that. If you go into the videos here, the bottom right video placeholder, click on the panel menu here, this hamburger menu thing, open in timeline, and now you can go to the part that you want, which is this push. I want that push. So I'm going to start it there. I'm going to move this to the right, and now everything should work perfectly well. All right. So listen, about the only thing is that, look, when I move this like left position to the left or to the right, I just scrub a little bit and the text moves a lot, right? So add a modifying key, add the control on Windows or command on the Mac. And then when you scrub, actually scrub the number, it'll go a lot less. And then you will be able to be a lot more precise. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.